Hi, and thanks for watching. Today I'd like to share with you my experience with my sunroof leak on my 2013 Ford Taurus. So I had a leak and I found out one of the pipes was not draining properly, so I started taking a look. On the rear, you see here in the trunk, if you open up the trunk, you'll see on either side of the trunk there are some pipes running along, uh, and they have a connector, so that's pretty easy to clean. You just unhook the connector and blow it with air. So you can see how I've unhooked the connector, and then I've also run a wire through the pipe going out of the car to make sure nothing is plugged there. So they are coming right kind of above the mufflers. They're coming out of the trunk. And on the sunroof side, it's more difficult to clean because there's no way you can reach those pipes. There are some small PVC pipes on either side of the sunroof, way in the back, and you can't reach them whatsoever. So the only way to clean them really is through the back here, through your trunk. Here I try to take a picture of how the drains look in the sunroof, the rear ones, and it's even hard to find them. There are some gray PVC pipes about a quarter of an inch thick, and really I was able to run a wire through one of them, but at some point they have a 90-degree turn, so you can't go too far with the wire. But good thing they were not plugged. I was able to blow air through the uh, disconnects in the trunk, and they were okay. Here I'm trying to show you how far back those pipes are. So there's no way you can reach them. And also I don't think there's a big chance they could get plugged because uh, they're so back. I don't even think that they're used much. Mostly the front ones are used usually, and that's where the trouble starts, because the way to clean them is really this. I opened the wheel rocker guard, and you can see them coming out right above the wheel there. So you can run a wire through there, but again there are some 90-degree turns, and unless you have the right thickness of a wire and a fairly strong wire, you're not able to go through. So the only way really is with compressed air. Here I did a water test with one of them. So the left one was okay, but the right one was plugged. And there I had a syringe, and I've attached a small vacuum cleaner to it with a bit of a pipe, and I've blown and I've blown and I sucked through those things until finally it got cleared, because this one, the right side, was completely plugged. There was nothing going through. And maybe a good idea is, before you do this, uh, put some WD-40 in the hole, spray a generous amount of WD-40 just to loosen up anything that might fall in there. From what I found out, I believe in mine there was a piece of a M&M candy stuck in there. And you can imagine with the heat and everything, that chocolate melts and it sticks to the wall of the pipe. So eventually I got it to work. So I've blown, like I left that vacuum blowing in there for about 15 minutes probably. And then when I did a test, it finally went. So there's water coming out through there, and hopefully it will be clean. I'll try to do this every once in a while, every few months probably, to make sure nothing gets stuck in there. So that's my little Armor All vacuum cleaner that helped me clean that thing. And you can blow through the bottom one, through the bottom exit, or yeah, you can hook up directly the hose there and suck or blow air through it. There I ran some more water through it to make sure it drains properly, and everything seemed to work great. So there usually isn't much water going in there, but if there's nowhere to go, then it's gonna add up and eventually it's gonna leak into the car. And now, since I've opened all that rocker guard, I usually put a generous amount of grease on those metal, anything metal that's has a potential to get rust, and that's kind of a good way to prepare it for the fall and for the salt that's coming in the winter. After all that is done, you just hook up the rocker guard, and here I put some grease on those brackets too. Thanks for watching.